I was a pretty happy child, like throughout, like elementary school and stuff. Grandparents always will come to every single one of my sports events. They'll support me no matter what.
I remember it was like really happy, and I just, would go out and play a lot. I remember a lot of like fun times with my sister.
I was really easygoing as a child. Had a really big imagination, so like I would just go out and play and like pretend I was like an astronaut, a policeman. Barbies, I would just be in there for hours just playing.
As a kid, we were a very close-knit do or die family. Like if somebody messes with one of us, they gotta mess with all of us. We would get into fights every now and again, but in the end, we would come out stronger for it.
So I went to a Catholic and a Lutheran school, and like all of my mom's friends are gay, like all of them are lesbians. 4th or 5th grade, where they tell you that all gays are evil and they're all going to hell. I'm sorry, like being told that the person that you look up to the most is going to hell when you're like 12 years old is like a really big deal, like really big deal, really took me out.
I remember being bullied as a young kid. I mean, one of the biggest things of when I was bullied was because of my culture or because of my race, stuff like that.
When I was 12 was when I was first suicidal, and I told a middle school basketball coach, and he said, "Don't worry about it, it's not that serious, you'll get over it." And I was like, dude, I just told you I wanted to die. Like, you should have paid more attention to me. But I wasn't actually diagnosed with anything until I was 16.
I actually started seeing a psychiatrist too. And that's when I officially got diagnosed with major depressive disorder, major anxiety disorder.
Being diagnosed at the age of 12 with schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder.
Bipolar disorder, rapid cycler with depressive tendencies, and schizoid manifestations.
Serotonin syndrome, psychosis, and catatonia.
Depressed and anxious.
PTSD, bipolar, ADHD.
The biggest thing that I learned that was really important to me was that it's the way your brain functions. If you have a child that has diabetes, it's not any different than a child that has a mental illness. They're both diseases. They just affect different parts of your body.
My biggest issue always has been saying I'm bipolar, but I've recently have been able to learn to say I have bipolar disorder. People don't say I am cancer. People don't say I am diabetes. They have cancer. They have diabetes.
There's all this anxiety that's built up, and it feels like it needs to be somehow let out, like I had no other way of dealing with it. If I was in school and I felt like I needed to, I would just take a pencil and scratch it against myself. If I was at home, I just took dull nail cutters. It just over the years, progressively gotten worse. And so it's gotten to the point where it's possibly needed stitches.
Mainly what I was thinking was that people were after me, maybe kind of spying on me. I almost kind of thought that they were actors who were dressed up as my friends. It was scary because I was in a psych ward of a hospital, which, I had never been in before. And it just seemed totally a situation that I never imagined myself getting into.
Come on. So there's the panic and fear and this idea that I'm just going to be torn apart from the inside, and then the elation of striding through life like I can conquer anything and I'm invincible. Come on, go, 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 come on.
Abandoned by pretty much everyone I cared about. Got locked up in a place where people didn't really care about me, multiple places, which didn't give me a lot of reason to do any constructive change. Because, if you look around and nobody cares, why should you care, right?
I thought my depression couldn't get any worse when I left high school, and then I went to college, and then it got worse, and I lost myself for real, actually lost myself in it. So right now I'm still trying to find anything that used to be there at all. So mostly what I rely on for any form of happiness is drugs.
Games and a spooky time.
When I was seeing voices and everything, I always saw them attached to people. But whenever I looked at someone, I saw a certain figure or a person standing next to them, and which always told me like it was danger. Like I saw an evil shadow back next to them, and I mean, it was always like with wings, or the shadows would change with every single person I meet.
And it really spiraled. Like, I started self-harming a lot, and then at that point it was also like, I think the suicidal thoughts came in, like, I don't want to live anymore. What can I do to not live? People will be better off without me. It was crazy. I attempted suicide, I think, 6 more times within 7-8 months.
I think about suicidal ideation almost every minute of every day. So, I mean, the chances of me doing something like that are very high.
That second time I attempted suicide, like I was just telling my mom that I wanted to kill myself, and they agreed. I told them I want to be locked up. I agreed. I told them I want to be put in a safe place, and at that point was like the behavioral health hospital. They thought it was a safe choice.
There was a point where I couldn't get it off my mind. Like, I would be in school and I'd be thinking about it. I couldn't let go of this thought of like, oh, I can just be gone. I can just disappear, you know? And things would be so much easier.
Like, every time I did anything, I was like, you should just die. Like, I would be biking to campus, and I'd be like, you should just go in the middle of the street and just die. And it was awful, and it's like, that's my rock bottom, is like still living with that there at all times. Because it's not a passing thought, and it's every time I'll see anything dangerous, it's like, oh, do it, because you just die. Just die.
I was just like, I need to tell my parents, you know, I'm suicidal, like I need to see somebody. So they got me into psychiatrists and psychologists the next day. Right now I have an integrated healthcare system where I have a psychiatrist, a therapist, and a general practitioner and a case manager who all work together. And that's a really great way to do it, I think.
It's been a long journey and a bunch of different hospitals and all that. Since I've taken a lot of different medications, I know which ones work for me and which ones don't work for me. Yeah, like the ones that aren't really as necessary, and the ones that, you know, are definitely like, you know, I need to take every day.
This journey has been more about me learning about myself and how to cope and how to deal with things. Through medication and counseling, I've made a lot of improvement. I've changed a lot and become a more happy person than I was, for sure.
I'm a firm believer that there are things out there, people out there, that would change my life for the better. I just haven't found them yet, or they haven't found me. And I fully intend to look for them.
Even if you don't have a supportive family, you can always find a support system, like groups, even maybe that one friend that's willing to be by your side. But I am blessed and lucky to say that my parents have been really supportive of me throughout this whole journey. I always say, like, I wouldn't be here without what they've done for me, what they've sacrificed for me, and what they still give to me now.
I just always remember feeling so alone about my mental illness and about my headspace and about all the crappy shit that happened in there and about all the shit that sends me off, like, triggers me, makes me go crazy. Like, I just want other people to, like, know that they're not alone, you know? No one's really alone. Like, no matter how messy and complicated your emotions are, like, you still deserve to talk about them.